Trọng Phúc chào đón quý khán giả đến với chương trình của VietNews USA, một chương trình thiết thực cho mọi gia đình. Thấm thoát, thế là đã 2 năm hành trình của VietNews USA phục vụ khán giả thân yêu của mình. Một chặng đường 2 năm thật là nhiều cam go nhưng tràn đầy kỷ niệm. Nhờ sự yêu thương của khán giả và những fan ủng hộ mà VietNews USA phát triển đến ngày hôm nay. Nhân dịp kỷ niệm chặng đường 2 năm, VietNews USA cảm ơn sự hoạt động hết mình từ những buổi ban đầu của các anh chị em xứ ngôn viên như Mộng Trinh, Thanh Tâm, Jimmy Hoàng, Laco, những kỹ thuật viên như Quang Phan, Christian Lê và các hướng dẫn viên của các chương trình talk show và chương trình như Phương Bi của Khu vườn của những con ong, Lê Lệ của Tài chánh Arizona, Long Lê của Địa ốc Arizona, Anh Paris của The Paris Show, Tiffany Mộng Tuyền của Song ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh ta, Thùy Ngọc với Pháp luật và đời sống và nhiều cộng tác viên trong các chương trình khác. Chương trình kỷ niệm chặng đường 2 năm còn có sự hiện diện của các anh chị em ca nghệ sĩ đang được yêu mến như nữ ca sĩ Phương Thanh, nam ca sĩ Quách Thành Danh, nữ ca sĩ Khả Tú, nam ca sĩ Hoàng Phong, nam ca sĩ trẻ Dodo và nhiều ca sĩ khách mời đặc biệt khác. Chương trình ca nhạc dạ tiệc Khi giấc mơ về sẽ được tổ chức vào thứ Bảy ngày 30 tháng 7 năm 2022 tại Indo-America 2809 West Maryland Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona 85017. Mở cửa đón khách từ 6 giờ, chương trình bắt đầu từ 7 đến 11 giờ tối, dạ tiệc phục vụ lúc 8 giờ. Vé vào cửa, vé VIP 1.000 trên một bàn 10 người bao gồm 5 món ăn và 10 chai bia. Vé đồng hạng 750 trên một bàn 10 người bao gồm 5 món ăn. Mua tại cửa vui lòng thêm 10 Mỹ Kim. Mọi chi tiết về chương trình vui lòng gọi 602 481 2647 602 481 2647. VietNews USA trân trọng kính mời. Tóc bạc là một vấn đề của đàn ông và phụ nữ ở độ tuổi trung niên. Họ phải nhuộm tóc thông thường 2 lần một tháng. Hầu hết thuốc nhuộm đều không phù hợp với tóc. Chúng chứa các hóa chất và có hại gây rụng tóc, khô da đầu, ngứa ngáy khó chịu. Nó cũng khiến chân tóc dễ bị tổn thương, từ đó ảnh hưởng đến sức khỏe của bạn. Đến với Quay giúp quý vị làm chọng tóc bạc. Quay hoàn toàn tự nhiên và không gây bất kỳ tác dụng phụ nào trên tóc và cơ thể bạn. Serum dưỡng tóc này biến đổi tóc bạc thành màu tự nhiên, giúp bạn làm mới mái tóc của mình. Quay điều trị các vấn đề về rụng tóc và thúc đẩy sự phát triển của tóc, ngăn ngừa hư tổn tóc, nuôi dưỡng tóc và trị cầu. Quay làm cho tóc bóng mượt và sang trọng hơn. Quay không có tác dụng phụ và hoàn toàn hữu cơ, giúp dưỡng ẩm cho tóc. Quay trị tóc bạc và chăm sóc tóc toàn diện. Quay trị tóc bạc sớm, phục hồi sắc tố melanin, giúp tóc đen hơn, kích thích mọc tóc, ngăn ngừa rụng tóc, trị cầu, nuôi dưỡng, giữ ẩm tóc, làm dịu da đầu, tăng cường tóc dày và khỏe mạnh. Hãy gọi ngay 916 666 0218 916 666 0218. Quay trị tóc bạc sớm. Thưa quý khán giả, các em học sinh, sinh viên, người Việt của chúng ta thường được biết đến về việc học giỏi, đặc biệt là các môn toán, lý, hóa. Các em thường ra trường với số điểm cao vì sự thông minh và cần cù chịu khó của mình. Tuy nhiên, hôm nay chúng tôi mời quý khán giả cùng đến với một sinh viên vừa tốt nghiệp high school. Tuy nhiên, ngoài việc học mà chúng ta gọi nó là học giỏi, thì cô còn hoạt động xã hội với nhiều đóng góp tích cực của mình. Mời quý khán giả cùng theo dõi phần tâm sự của Alexis Lữ. Thưa quý khán giả của VietNews USA, sống ở Hoa Kỳ, nơi được mệnh danh là thiên đàng trên đất, với sự kết hợp của các giống dân cùng chung sống và chia sẻ các ngôn ngữ, văn hóa, đem lại một sự kết hợp hùng mạnh khó có đất nước nào có thể sánh bằng. Tìm hiểu thêm về các cộng đồng bạn qua những con người thật, việc thật, cũng sẽ giúp chúng ta biết thêm được nhiều cái hay, cái quý đáng học hỏi. Chương trình song ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh ta với các khách mời là những doanh nhân, nghệ sĩ, thương gia, chính trị gia sẽ đem đến cho chúng ta nhiều bất ngờ thú vị. Chương trình được sử dụng với 2 ngôn ngữ, tiếng Anh và tiếng Việt, và với sự điều phối thật linh động lưu loát của cô hướng dẫn chương trình xinh đẹp và tài giỏi của tiểu bang Arizona, Tiffany Mộng Tuyền, sẽ giúp các bạn trẻ thêm sự gần gũi với cộng đồng Việt Nam và cũng như những người khán giả của VietNews USA biết thêm được nhiều thông tin cuộc sống xung quanh ta. Và giờ này, mời quý khán giả cùng theo dõi chương trình song ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh ta số 14 hôm nay, ngày 20 tháng 6 với đề tài Alexis Lữ, sinh viên tốt nghiệp hạng ưu và những hoạt động xã hội. Giờ đây, mời quý khán giả cùng chào đón người hướng dẫn chương trình, cô Tiffany Mộng Tuyền và khách mời.
Well, hey everyone, welcome back to VietNews USA TV here. Today we have a very, very cute and special guest, very accomplished student. Can't wait to share the accomplishments that she's wrapped up only just recently graduate, high school graduate, but she's already on a well-established path in my opinion. Her name is Alexis Lu. So Alexis, I'm going to have you actually just say a few words to our audience.
Hi everyone, I am very honored to be here tonight and I'm excited to talk about the things I've done and give a little tips for whoever is still in high school.
Wow, wonderful. Well, so gather all of your high school students to be here, family members. We're going to hear, of course, a lot of things. So quite a big list of accomplishments here. Congratulations. You were born in San Jose, but you moved here. Where do you guys live now, Alexis?
We live in Gilbert, Arizona.
Gilbert, Arizona, and it is actually named as one of the most friendly and one of the best community in America. It's made quite a few lists. How do you like living in Gilbert?
I love living in Gilbert. It's a very friendly community, like you said, and the people are really kind, and a lot of my friends at my school live in Gilbert, so I have a lot of my friends around me, so it's a really cute town to be a part of.
What are some of the must-visit places in Gilbert?
I would say downtown Gilbert because it's a very adorable little street with a bunch of restaurants, and I think we go there a lot, my friends and I.
Any favorite food or restaurants there?
I want to say Culinary Dropout. Very, very yummy.
Nếu quý vị mà chưa có dịp tới thành phố Gilbert thì đúng như em Alexis nói là thành phố đó bây giờ rất là nhộn nhịp, nhất là vào ban đêm và cuối tuần. Thì mặc dù là nhộn nhịp nhưng mà tới giờ đóng cửa là vẫn đóng cửa nha quý vị. Có rất là nhiều hàng quán ở đó rất ngon, và cái nhà hàng mà Alexis thích là Culinary Dropout. So let's start right here with some of your accomplishments. You actually made it to Yahoo News. We were looking at an article with a little video. It's about a student that is collecting up to $50,000 in 50 days to help to support cancer research. Nghĩa là and of course that article is about you. Thì em Alexis kính thưa quý vị, có ở trên trang Yahoo có một cái bài viết và một đoạn video phỏng vấn em Alexis về cái chuyện mà em là một em học sinh trung học nhưng có cái hy vọng và cái nguyện vọng là quyên góp $50,000 trong vòng 50 ngày để cho cái việc nghiên cứu cancer, có nghĩa là ung thư. So where did this idea come from, and what were you hoping to gain from this effort?
So my paternal grandfather was diagnosed with lymphoma.
And he sadly, ông nội,
yes,
right? Okay.
He sadly passed away in 2016. So he kind of became my motivation to do something more, because when I was watching him go through chemo, it feels very helpless, like watching someone else go through such like painful treatments. So I was like, I should do something. My friend had previously ran in the year before for the Leukemia Lymphoma Student of the Year. So she was like, why don't you do it? Like, I know you're very passionate about making an impact in the cancer community. And I was like, yes, I would love to try. So my goal was $50,000 in 50 days. My team and I ended up raising around $20,000. But yeah, it all went to cancer research, which will help try to find a treatment for like blood cancers like leukemia and lymphoma.
That's a major accomplishment. $20,000 in 50 days. That's a lot. That's a big accomplishment. And do you guys have a big donation event, or do you just simply write a check and send it away?
It was. We had this thing called the grand finale at the
grand
end.
finale.
So that's when all the students revealed like how much they were able to raise. It's like this one huge competition with a bunch of high school students to see who can raise the most money. So it's fun but competitive.
Oh, that's nice. And what do you learn through this whole process? Anything?
I learned that the community can band together when it comes to something, and like when we're all passionate about making an impact, it's actually really easy to get people to help you.
Okay. Thì em Alexis nói là cuối cùng thì em đã quyên góp được $20,000 và để tặng cho cái việc mà nghiên cứu về ung thư, kính thưa quý vị. Và cái điều mà em học được từ cái việc làm này đó là cộng đồng của chúng ta sẽ sẵn sàng giúp đỡ khi mà có một cái công việc ý nghĩa như là vậy. Congratulations on that. And then you went to, because you recently graduated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Went to Basha High School, and your GPA is sky high, 4.6 weighted. Tell us a little bit about your school years there. You spent a lot of time just studying.
Oh yes, I spent a lot of time just studying. So
Okay.
the reason my family chose Basha is there's a accelerated middle school program.
Okay.
So I was around like 6th grade. I tested into the school and ended up getting in. That's when we take pre-AP classes, so like pre-college courses as a middle schooler, so that the moment we hit high school, we can start taking AP exams or AP classes earlier than everyone else. So I was already starting to rack up my college credits from freshman year.
Oh wow, congratulations. So how many college credits do you have now?
I have quite a few.
Quite a few. So you're going to be graduating from college soon?
I hope sooner, so in 3 years.
Okay. And where are you going?
I'm going to the University of Arizona.
Thì em sẽ đi học đại học là Arizona State University? University of
Yes.
And that's in Tucson?
That is in Tucson.
Okay, and what are you going to be studying?
I am studying biology and I'm on the pre-med track.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of studying there.
Yes, yeah.
And how do your parents feel about you choosing this field?
They love it, but
Okay.
they've been very supportive. They tell me that I can pick whatever I pick, and like a lot of people assume that my parents were the ones that told me to be a doctor, you know, like with the stereotype of like Asian parents wanting me to be a doctor. But they told me I could be whatever I want, and I really do have a passion for medicine and science, so I'm really excited to start studying there.
Nhưng mà Alexis cũng được sự hỗ trợ và ủng hộ nhiệt tình của bố mẹ của em trong cái việc mà em sẽ đi vào cái con đường gọi là medical này. So that's great that you have your parents' full support. And with this such high grade here, what other accomplishments or awards that you won in your last year of high school?
So I have won a couple of scholarships, one from the Women's Desert Jade Club and the other one from the Chinese Association of Phoenix. So it's really exciting to see that there's, groups of people gathering together based on their heritage and then being able to support like students like me in our education.
That's wonderful. Và em đã được 2 cái học bổng. Kính thưa quý vị. And what were the criteria for these scholarships? What were they graded you on?
So we had to write an essay and we had to talk about like what we wanted to accomplish and then how we're going to tie in the community. Like how do we want to leave an impact, on like the Asian American community.
That's wonderful. And your high school here, you mentioned that there's not a lot of Asians.
There's not.
How do you feel to be in a community where, like on a daily basis with not a lot of Asians?
I think it's a little bit difficult trying to balance like both the like Asian heritage at home, but also trying to, be like the American student. It's a very unique experience, and I think that it's one that not a lot of people can understand, but it's very unique. And I think it's like one of the best aspects is like being able to be a minority, but also be able to be a part of something bigger, like being an American.
Do you ever feel that you were not given the opportunities because of how you look and your background?
Not at all. I think Basha does a really good job of trying to make sure that everyone has equal opportunities, especially like I like to think that I'm very outgoing, so I try to step up and try to get those opportunities for myself. So if you're willing to be able to go get those opportunities, they'll be there for you.
Okay, well that's good advice for anyone who's watching and in a situation like Alexis where you don't have Asian friends on a daily basis, but you probably have Asian friends outside of school. Yeah. What do you usually do with them?
We usually just hang out. We like to go to H Mart and eat.
H Mart,
We love to eat and get boba. It's so fun.
What's your favorite boba?
I would have to say Rafa Tea House.
Rafa Tea House. Yeah, that's a very nice one. There's a few other places here. Are we overloaded with boba places, in your opinion?
I don't think there can ever be too much boba. But there are a lot of different options, which makes it fun because if you crave something different, you could just go somewhere else,
Absolutely. So certainly it's interesting that you actually have a Vietnamese name or parts of your name as well. It's Mộng Nhi or Mẫn Nhi.
Mẫn Nhi.
Mẫn Nhi. Do you know what it means?
It means hardworking girl.
hard-working girl. And could it have been because of your parents' background?
So funny story. My mom actually ended up picking that name because of a movie she was watching.
Okay.
But I think it really ties into like my motivation because it's like I'm constantly working hard to, be the better version of myself and be educated and try to like open my mind to things. But also like tying in like my Asian background. So my middle name is kind of like my motivation.
Is this actually part of your legal name? Or
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, very good. And we love it when my American name Tiffany is actually not on legal papers at all. It is fully Vietnamese. But when you interact day to day with a lot of folks who just don't speak our language, you kind of just have to give I guess in my case, an American name Tiffany, but yeah, I like to retain the Vietnamese name. It's such a big part of you. What have you learned about yourself? I know it's still very early. With your Asian heritage, I think you briefly talked about it. You don't feel you're at a disadvantage or anything like that at all. What about being a woman?
I think it's very unique being a minority woman. It's it's difficult. It has its challenges, but I think it's like one of the most beautiful challenges. Like everyone knows that saying that God gives the hardest challenges to the toughest warriors, right? So I like to embrace it. It's like my favorite thing about myself, being an Asian woman. So
where do you pick up the mentality? Is it from your mom or your dad?
It's definitely from my mom.
Your mom, okay. So tell us a little bit about your mom.
My mom is one of the most hardworking people I've ever met. She was an immigrant from Vietnam, and she came here later than my dad. So she had to learn English, and like sometimes we do make fun of her for her English, but she's very hardworking, and like the path she's gone down, and she's created a successful life for herself, but also my family. So I really look up to her because she's very powerful.
And then tell us about your dad.
My dad moved over when he was a little younger, so I think he was around 8. So he learned English faster, but I love my dad. He's like a child. So like when we hang out, it's like hanging out with a friend.
Okay, that's really cute. Thì bố mẹ của bé Alexis là qua đây cũng là người di dân qua đây thôi quý vị, và có thể là đã qua ở cái tuổi mà cũng lớn rồi, thành ra để mà thành công ở trên nước Mỹ thì cũng phải có nhiều những cái sự cố gắng, và cái sự thành công mà mình thấy trước mắt đây là em Alexis, một cái người bạn trẻ rất là có khả năng và chắc chắn là tương lai sẽ rất là sáng lạng. Now you say you're a bookworm, but you also participate in a bunch of other clubs.
Yeah. Yes.
Please share with us a few.
Okay, I was the president of HOSA Club, so that's talking about future health professionals, so it's for kids that want to get involved in medicine.
Okay.
I was also a part of ski club. In Chandler we don't really have snow.
Exactly. I'm like, what are you skiing down?
So we fundraise money at school, and then we take that money and we put it into a trip. So we're learning how to organize, and then we go up to Flagstaff together as a group. And we go skiing and snowboarding, and it's so much fun. I'm also a part of my school's student government.
Okay.
So that's when we learn how to like manage money and create events and try to build school pride. I am also a part of Link Crew and NHS, so just like the honor societies at my school, and like Link Crew is trying to get the freshmen involved on campus, so different things like that.
And I also saw that you are part of Real Talk Club. That's interesting. What is it about?
So my sophomore year, I was in this class called AP Human Geography. So it's more philosophical and less about like information. So we were like learning about like why people move, where they move, more about demographics and stuff. So there was this club called Real Talk, and we had college students come in and they talked to us about real life things. So we talked about, conspiracy theories, political ideas, but it was just an open room that anyone could talk about what they wanted to, without it being biased or violent, because sometimes controversial topics get a little, dangerous. So it was just like a fun room where we could just talk about whatever we believed in, and there was no judgment.
That's wonderful. That's a very good platform forum to share, your opinions and ideas and so on. So what were some of the favorite topics that you guys discussed?
I think talking about aliens.
Aliens and all the yeah, do they really exist?
Yeah. I personally think, as someone that's like very involved in science, like our Earth is so small in our universe that we don't know what's out there. So it could be a possibility.
Open to the possibility, right? Now, if aliens do exist, do you think they look like what we see in movies?
I don't think so.
What might they look like in your opinion?
I honestly don't even know.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they do look exactly what the media portrays, but I would never know, I guess.
Or they might look exactly just like us.
Maybe.
Yeah. Really, really interesting. And it's lovely that you have this kind of club at school. Is this like a school-sponsored club?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It goes along with the class, so every sophomore can join the club and like talk about different, ongoing topics and stuff.
Okay. And then you also play tennis.
I do also play tennis.
Are you really good at it?
I am on the varsity team, and I've been playing for 4 years. I've worked really hard to get to like the top level, and it's really fun, and it has kept me active, and I made a lot of friends through it. So I recommend that every high school student tries to join a sport because it's a good way to get involved but also stay active.
Yeah, absolutely. And then certainly you guys went on competitions and so on and teaches quite a few things from there for sure. Looking forward to 5 years from now, what do you see yourself doing?
I see myself hopefully in medical school at that point, being able to like find out like actually what kind of field of medicine I want to go into, but like I'll still be in school in 5 years.
It's an 8-year program, right? Or 8 or 10, yeah.
It's a long program.
It's a long program. It takes a lot of money too. So hopefully the scholarships keep coming for sure. Yeah. So wonderful stuff that you're doing. Are you involved at all with the Asian community?
Yes, so my school has this club called the Asian Cultural Ethics Club. It was created by our Dean of Students, and she's also Asian American. So we have performances, we have showcases where everyone can, we learn about dances. So there's traditional dances and then modern dances like K-pop, and then they also showcase like different cuisine. So we're involved in that.
Okay, well, that's quite a lot to do. How do you manage your schedule on a day-to-day basis?
I think just like being able to step back and realize that the things in front of you like aren't as daunting as they seem to be, because the moment you think that you're overwhelmed, you'll feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I really try to take the time to like step back and like plan the things that are going to happen, and it makes me feel a lot better about what's going on, like makes me better at time management.
Excellent. Thì cô cũng vừa chia sẻ, and I agree with that. Cách mà mình có thể quản lý thời gian, kính thưa quý vị, là mình cứ bình tĩnh, mình nhìn vào tất cả những cái công việc mà mình phải làm, rồi mình lên kế hoạch và mình làm từ từ thôi. I agree with that. I'm like, when I'm at work and there's a huge problem or fire you have to put out, you just have to be able to say it's gonna pass. You just have to work through it, and then that's how you get through the day for sure. So very good on that. And then, have you ever been out of the country?
I have been out of the country.
What's your favorite country that you've visited?
I think Vietnam, because
really?
I have family over there. When I was over there, I was able to see my great grandma, and then being able to eat like the Vietnamese traditional cuisine, and like it was so good. I think that was my favorite country.
So, what are some of your favorite dishes?
Definitely pho. And just literally anything over there was so good.
You try the street food?
I did. Like French fries. Like the
like the actual French fries?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like the American French fries were over there.
What about snails and so on?
Oh no, I was a little too scared to do that.
Okay. I mean, certainly it's exotic.
It is. I think it takes a specific like palate to be able to take those foods.
So there's concepts like Doctors Without Border and so on. I kind of see that you might be doing that. Is that something you would consider?
I would love to. Okay, so the reason I want to be involved in medicine is so that I can bring medicine to people that are less privileged. So I would love to become a doctor and be able to help people in third world countries, because not everyone has equal access to medicine. So I think it's very important to be able to give back to the community, especially when it comes to something so basic as health.
Absolutely. And have you studied much about how the healthcare system is in the U.S.? Not there yet.
Not there yet. Okay. I know a little bit. I definitely think that with the COVID and the pandemic happening, I did definitely learn a little bit more about how medicine can be exhausted by something as simple as COVID. Think about it. It's very simple, but it somehow like took over so quickly, you know.
Yeah.
So I learned more about it from that.
Talking about COVID, it seems like it's been ages, right? But actually, we just barely stepped out of that. What do you guys do during COVID when it was a full shutdown?
I just spent time at home. At least I was with my family, so I was able to spend time with my family. You know, that's when I got more into reading and like watching documentaries. So I had a lot more free time when it came to being isolated.
Absolutely. And you're back. Are you happy that things are back to normal?
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm like at least the class that got a normal graduation. Like
Yes.
all the other classes didn't have theirs, so I'm very grateful.
And obviously, school was extremely difficult during COVID time.
Yeah.
And what do you find was the most stressful or difficult thing?
I think it was trying to transition from in-person learning to online learning and then back into person. It's very difficult when you're like trying to figure out how to learn online, but then teachers are also trying to figure out what they're doing and like
Exactly.
and then getting pushed back into person and then trying to figure out how to stay safe while also maintaining my education.
Absolutely. I think that was heard across the board. I have friends who are teachers too, and they absolutely said the same thing. We were not so prepared for that. So hopefully it's a lessons learned and we improve. Hopefully it will never happen again. So what do you guys eat at home mostly? Do your parents cook?
My mom cooks all the time, so we eat like traditional Vietnamese food, and sometimes she spices it up with like American food, or like my dad will cook us or try to cook us like Mexican food. So yeah, whatever they cook.
Sounds amazing. Sounds like a lot of fun. So wrapping up, what advice do you have for students that are entering high school or try to make sure that they have the best high school experience?
I would say get involved. Join clubs. It's a good way to like learn about something new or like meet new people. I would say like earlier, as I mentioned, join a sport. It'll keep you active. You'll make new friends. Like maybe you can join a sport that you know nothing about, and it'll be fun to learn about a new sport. I would say get close with your teachers. Because teachers, it's very important to be able to like talk to them, and like they're also your mentors, right? You spend so much time with these people that it's like important to be able to get close with your teachers and like be able to at least have an adult on campus that you can go, talk to. It's important. And then I would just say, stay on top of your grades. It's important. It can get you far. So
So top 3 điều mà Alexis có lời khuyên cho các em là nên tham gia vào những cái hoạt động ở trong trường, chẳng hạn như là mình tham gia một cái câu lạc bộ thể dục thể thao nào đó. Thứ nhì là luôn luôn phải là nên học tập tốt để có điểm tốt. Cái điều đó nó rất là quan trọng. I know it's for scholarships, it's for, and of course it forces you to study too, which is why you're in school. And then of course the other item is be friend with your teacher, làm quen với lại cô giáo, thầy giáo của mình, sẽ làm nó sẽ giúp cho mình tốt trong cái việc học hành, và cũng như là có một cái người lớn ở trong trường mà mình có thể là mình tìm đến để mà mình coi như là hỏi những câu hỏi mà mình không có thể hỏi, ví dụ như là bạn bè, vân vân. There's a lot of good advice there, Alexis, and great future ahead of you. I'm certain that we'll be talking to you again in some, in the near future for some awesome topics. So thank you so much, and congratulations on graduating, and best of luck with the college.
thank you so much.
Of course. You want to say bye-bye to our audience?
Bye. It's nice to be on here.
Absolutely.
Bạn cần có cho mình một chiếc bánh cưới, bánh đính hôn, bánh sinh nhật, hay chỉ là một chiếc bánh kem ngon miệng cho bữa cơm tối gia đình? Hãy đến ngay với Bamboo Bakery, tiệm bánh cưới Việt Nam đầu tiên và duy nhất tại Arizona, được vote best từ năm 2007 tới nay, với hơn 250 loại bánh kem dành cho mọi nhà như bánh kem sầu riêng hoàng đế, nữ hoàng pink champagne, mềm mại thơm ngon với bánh dừa kem Pháp, hay ngọt ngào đê mê với mocha. Hãy gọi ngay 602 246 8061 để có cho mình và gia đình một chiếc bánh kem tuyệt đẹp và ngon tuyệt vời. Cảm ơn quý khán giả đã theo dõi chương trình song ngữ Cuộc sống quanh ta với Tiffany Mộng Tuyền và khách mời. Chương trình phát hình vào mỗi tối thứ hai hàng tuần trong khung giờ quen thuộc là 7 giờ PM giờ Arizona trên channel VietNews USA. Mọi đóng góp ý kiến cũng như tham gia chương trình vui lòng liên lạc với chúng tôi qua số điện thoại 602 481 2647 hoặc theo địa chỉ email info.vietnewsusa@gmail.com. Chân thành cảm ơn. Chúc quý vị có một ngày thật là vui bên gia đình và người thân. Hẹn gặp lại quý vị trong chương trình tới. Và đừng quên bấm nút like, nút chuông để luôn theo dõi cũng như chia sẻ các chương trình của VietNews đến với mọi người. Have a wonderful day and see you soon.